At Telkom joining us. Thanks very much, Mooketsi, for joining us. So just tell us why it is that you've had to resolve to cut a further 3,000 jobs.
Hi, Nampu, and to the viewers. Thank you for the invitation. And I think you really touched on it earlier. It's really because of a very weak economic environment that we find ourselves where we are, but also we've been experiencing consistently decline in our fixed line voice business. We've also been seeing a lot of migration from the fixed data. Most people are now moving to mobile data, so making fixed data very difficult to operate. And obviously, internally, organizational operational inefficiencies that we need to fix. So those are some of the things that are getting us to this point.
Which of your divisions will be hardest hit by this latest move?
So the Section 189 really is for Telkom, the business units within consumer, OpenServe, and our Yellow Pages business called TrueDawn. So those are the three businesses that are affected currently on this first phase. And then later on, we're also going to be looking at head office and also go through a Section 189 there. And that process will go over two phases, which we're starting now until April for the first phase. And then we'll look into the next phase will start from May up until August.
So when you talk about those phases, what do you mean in terms of when you expect job losses to actually occur, assuming that you're able to negotiate that with the unions?
Correct. So we will now go through a CCMA facilitated process, where we will then go through what are the options that we have. Could we come to a workable solution between the unions? And then this first phase, we would then see people likely leaving at the end of April.
Yeah. So this is obviously going to be a big blow for those staff who end up being affected. What sort of packages are you going to be offering, and what support will you be giving to those who finally end up having to leave the company?
It certainly will be, and it's not a good thing to go through in a business. We obviously want to keep everyone, but it's just not possible. But through the consultation process, we will determine what kind of packages we will eventually offer. So we don't have that information at the moment. But however, we do offer counseling. We will have financial advice for those that leave at the end. But we do have counseling ongoing, starting now already.
So, Mooketsi, given what you're telling us about the demise of voice and the migration to fibre by your customers, including to your competitors, presumably it's quite imperative that you build more critical mass in your mobile phone division, because that's an area where you guys seem to have actually been getting things right. But of course, for now, you remain relatively small.
That's correct. And then obviously there's a couple of things that we need to get right to make sure that we can grow. One of them being, the operating model needs to change so that we can meet the market demand. At the moment, that's what we need to get right, meet the market demand. But of course, there's also the regulatory environment, which is largely skewed towards the current duopoly. And so that makes it very difficult for a small player like us to grow very quickly. It's a very capital-intensive business as well. But obviously, we also have the added cost of modernizing our legacy technology, which has been copper, and changing that into fiber. So there's quite a few things that we need to do to really move forward.
Mooketsi, thank you very much for your time and your insights. That was Mooketsi Mocumi. He's an executive in the communications division of Telkom.